What's going on, everyone? Vince the Lawn Engineer here. If you are looking for a healthier, thicker lawn, one of the tools that are almost essential are a scarifier and a dethatcher, and this is the Sunjoe version of that, the 12.6-inch, 12-amp electric scarifier and dethatcher, model number AJ801E, that's going to help achieve that perfect lawn. And we're gonna tell you all about it. So Sunjoe did send this unit to me at no cost in exchange for this video. However, the thoughts and opinions are of my own and have not been reviewed before uploading. Now, one of the things I like most about this system and what probably differentiates it from others on the market is this dual cartridge design. The one here we have is the Dethatcher cartridge. This is going to help get all that thatch buildup up. The other one right here, this is the Scarifier cartridge. These are blades that are basically going to dig down into the soil, giving you a little bit more air exchange between the soil roots. And if you have rhizomes or stolons and things like that, will help chop some of those up to increase and thicken those roots. And installing these cartridges are super easy. Let me show you how to do it. All right, so we are going to install the Scarifier cartridge first. This actually came on the unit delivered, and then the Dethatcher came in a box separate. So when you get this, this is already going to be installed. These bolts are already going to be installed with it, attaching everything to the unit. All we really need is our 10mm ratchet right here to go ahead and secure these bolts to the unit here. But the first thing we're going to do is take this hexagon end right here and make sure it goes in to this part of the unit right here. It kind of just slides in like so. All right, and you want to make sure, let me just take this out for a second. You want to make sure that this rounded part on the other end of the unit is kind of face down and fits into that groove right there. So when it all goes in, that slides in there, and then that just fits right into its groove right there. And then you take these two bolts and you just bolt these in, and then you are good to go. And when you want to replace it with the other cartridge, just undo those bolts and put the other cartridge in, and then you're good to go. Now for the complete specs on this unit, the scarifying and dethatching depths go down to like 0.4 inches. You do have a thatcher bag here in the back that is an 8-gallon capacity. It is easy to remove and reinstall. Me personally, I probably would not use the bag because I'm dealing with a much larger area here. I do find it easier to just thatch without the bag and then go over later with my lawnmower and pick up all the thatch, and it additionally chops it up so you can pack more into the lawnmower bag. But if you don't have that, you can certainly use one of these. You'll probably be filling it up a little more often though, but this will keep things nice and neat for you. The dethatching cylinder has 27 spring-loaded tines to really help pick up that thatch layer, increase that seed to soil contact if you're looking for that when you're going to seed. But also, if you have stolons running across the top of the soil, will help pick some of that stuff up and really encourage those to reroot themselves and spread out further, giving you that thicker, lusher lawn. The Scarifying cylinder has 20 blades that will slice through the roots that grow under the soil, encouraging them to multiply and spread faster. Again, all with the same purpose of giving you that thicker, lusher lawn. It will also help get oxygen down to the root zone layer, which is essential to healthy grass. The total width of the raking width and scarifying width is 12.6 inches. Now, one of the things that you'll have to keep in mind is when you are raking and going back and forth, you know, you're really only going to be raking this width. So you're not going to be raking the full width of the unit. It's only going to be limited to about this width, and you'll get used to it over time, but you kind of got to consider that when you first get started with one of these units, when you go up and down making those passes, if you want to get nice and even passes. So we've been talking about depth, and there are a total of 5 positions on the unit where you can raise and lower the height of these blades. The numbers are 10, 5, 0, and then 5 and 10. I believe those are in millimeters, 10 millimeters being about that 0.4 inches. So you can have it 10 or 5 millimeters above the grass, and then you got 0, which is basically right at the surface, and then you can drop it down into the soil up to a total depth of 0.4 inches or 10 millimeters. To start the unit, it's really simple. You just press and hold this button in and pull the lever back. That'll run the unit. And to stop, just let go of the lever and the unit will stop. Now, when you are plugging your extension cord into this unit, you do have to be mindful of the type of extension cord and the length of extension cord that you're going to be using. You can't just daisy chain a whole bunch of extension cords to get unlimited length here. This is a 12 amp motor and it will pull significant power, and there will be voltage drop over the length of that cable, and you could risk burning up the cable if you're not using the right cable, if the gauge of the wires inside of your extension cord is not of the right size. So make sure you read the instruction manual before using these cords. You're probably going to want to go with something like a more heavy duty extension cord when you're using one of these things. There's actually going to be a little card on the unit talking about that when you unbox one of these units. So we're gonna get out here on the lawn here and demo the unit and show you how this thing works. All right, so this is our demo area here, basically from where I'm standing to the unit and then between the fence and this irrigation line that I had dug earlier in the season. I do recommend mowing short before you go ahead and either dethatch or scarify. Just makes it easier to get down to that soil level, which is what we're really trying to achieve, especially if you're putting down new seed, getting that really good seed to soil contact. We do have the dethatching cartridge installed on the unit right now. We are going to do that first. I do dethatch regularly here, so I'm not expecting to pick up too much, but we'll demo the unit and you can see how it all turns out. And then we will go with the Scarifier cartridge and see how that works out for us. All right, so we have made 4 passes already and the bag is already full. This is also picking up some of the grass too. It is a little bit damp here, not very ideal for dethatching. However, I do want to showcase this product to you guys. This will recover. I'm not concerned with that at all, but what I wanted to demonstrate is that these bags do fill up rather quickly, which is why, like I was saying before, I do prefer to just go without using the bag and then come back later on with a lawnmower and pick all of this grass up. But let's take you along here and show you up close what we have already. You know, we've got clumps coming up like this. This is when the bag kind of filled up. That's kind of what that looks like. And you can see we're already down to the soil layer here. That's all soil. Like I said before, I do dethatch regularly, so I wasn't expecting there to be that much thatch buildup here, but we're pulling up some dead grass. Like I said, it's not really ideal conditions for dethatching, but this is what we've got here. This is what we're showcasing. So we're going to switch out the cartridge now, and for the other half, we will use the Scarifying cartridge so you can see exactly how that performs. All right, so we're ready to continue here. I have the Scarifier blade on. I also have the bag on because I'm interested to see if it's still going to collect anything with the bag on. Really, what we're really doing here is just kind of cutting into the soil for that first, 0.4 inches or 10 millimeters. Really ideal, especially if you're gonna go ahead and seed. So let's give it a try and see how it does. let's see what we collected in the bag. All right, yeah, we got another full bag here. So at the same time that we're scarifying, we're also collecting any debris, dead grass, things of that nature in the bag here. Let's put this aside and let's show you up close what this looks like here. So you can see here, we're really getting down into the soil there, kind of cutting into that first almost ½ inch, ¼ inch of soil. And this is going to be ideal for seeding, even a little bit of aeration. It's not going to replace core aeration by any means, but it will break up that first layer of soil there, that first almost ½ inch of soil there, to allow for better airflow and oxygen exchange between the roots at the top of the soil layer there. So some of my final thoughts here. This performs as advertised. I mean, it will dethatch, it will scarify, it will collect clippings. I did confirm it does collect those clippings rather quickly, and we'll fill that bag up. So if you're depending on that bag, it will fill up frequently. Now, it is a corded unit, and I really don't like pulling a cord around. However, with these type of units, you're probably going to be using this for about an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours on a yard like this. This is a 10,000 square foot yard, so the batteries probably won't keep up with it. I'm sure in the future, maybe battery technology, you'll get units that'll go for an hour, 2 hours, but really, I feel like they're limited to like 30 minutes when you're putting them on this kind of load, digging into the soil like that. So the cord is where it's at unless you go and rent a unit that is gas powered. You're probably going to be spending as much money to have one of those units delivered to your house for 1 day use as you'll spend on one of these. So with that in mind, I would probably just pick up one of these and use it whenever you need to. Probably in the springtime, probably again in the fall when you go to seed, whenever you think you need to dethatch or clean up a dry spot in the lawn. You know, this is going to be a great unit for that. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for joining.